because guys like you look at you, the way you carry yourself, the way that's a fighter. Like, you look at that guy's a dangerous motherfucker. But when you see Paddy, he's dancing like this, his hair's flopping around like he's in the Beatles. You know, he's like, he seems silly, but then he fucks people up.
I didn't quit on me still like a...
No, see, this is part of the stuff I wanted to ask you about. What are your thoughts on Ilya right now?
He's a little bitch, lad. How can you sit there and call yourself a world champion and quit on you still when the going gets tough? You know what I mean? You don't do that. Real fighters don't do that. I know I beat Ilya and Justin Gaethje beat me, so it was a no-brainer for me that Justin Gaethje beat him. And I don't think Ilya's ever going to come back.
While much of the attention surrounding UFC 329 was expected to center on Conor McGregor, Paddy Pimblett ended the night as one of the biggest winners. His performance quickly became a major talking point, with many fans viewing it as a breakthrough moment in his career. Paddy did more than secure a victory against a tough opponent. He looked more polished, composed, and dangerous than ever before. The performance has now raised a serious question. Is Pimblett finally ready to compete with the very best at lightweight?
He passed the torch Saturday night. Didn't mean to. Wasn't his intentions. Wasn't the UFC intentions. It organically happened. Paddy's a massive star now. He's always been a star. Always been a star. The kid, I don't know how long I've said this. He's the closest thing to Conor we have. And Saturday night with that performance, he stole the show. And I'll say this. If you missed the Conor train, now's the time to hitch your wagon to the Paddy train. Because if you should learn anything from the sport, from the UFC at the highest level, it doesn't last long. Enjoy it while you can. And right now, Paddy is on this rocket ship and it's super positive. It's fun. He's not a bad guy, has no allegations, none of that stuff. He's a good one to get behind. The torch was passed to him.
Fought Justin Gaethje, and he did well against Justin Gaethje. Well, now we know the man's for real, because look at what he just did to Benoit, Denis, a man that is also for real, and he made it look easy, and he does it with charisma, he does it with style, he does it with personality, humor, flair. Put it all together, there's nothing not to like about this guy, and he's one of the most authentic people in all of the sport. Like, against Benoit Denis, he didn't have a problem, and he wasn't talking shit because he didn't have any beef with him. But if Benoit Denis said something to him that he perceived to be talking shit, he would have called him out on it, and he would have went at him, because that's how we are as fighters. But he didn't feel like that. So he didn't fabricate some nonsense just for the sake of it. And again, I think that's why people really relate to Benoit Denis and to fighters when they're being authentic, when they're being corny and cheesy and trying to put on an act. It just doesn't.
Joe Rogan was among the first to highlight Paddy Pimblett's performance, emphasizing how noticeably the fighter has developed with each UFC appearance. Paddy showed confidence from the start, but what stood out most was his patience and discipline. Instead of rushing into unnecessary exchanges, he controlled the tempo, waited for openings, and displayed the composure that critics had previously questioned. For years, opinions about Paddy have been divided. Some believed he had genuine championship potential, while others argued that favorable matchmaking helped his rise. UFC 329 may have shifted that debate completely. This victory felt like a statement that Paddy belongs among the serious contenders, and reactions from fighters across the MMA world began arriving almost immediately.
Absurd.
I mean,
you gave the guy who's a choke artist what he wants in the first 20 seconds of the fight? What? Now that was a nasty performance for Paddy. I mean, he got a layup. I say to the guys while we're watching the fights, I go, why can't I ever get a guy who's just reckless enough to do that for me and give me what I want and make me look like a superhero? You know what I mean?
Really gets a fight on Saturday night. We know the name. The man is blessed. He is called Max Holloway. Okay, Max Holloway versus Paddy Pimblett. Tell me you wouldn't want to see that fight. That fight makes all the sense in the world. The former BMF, the former 145-pound champion, one of the greatest to ever do it, and a massive star in his own right as well. By the way, a man that handled himself with absolute class on Saturday night. He could have talked a lot of shit to Conor McGregor, but he didn't. And you could see that when McGregor went down, he didn't even really want to punch him in the face too much, because he's like, hold on, he's hurt, he's injured. Ref, there's something wrong with his leg, right? That is a great guy right there in front of you. That would be an awesome fight. And then, of course, there's one person person out there that is the baddest motherfucker in all of the sport. He is called Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is the BMF champion. Paddy the Baddy versus Charles Du Bronx Oliveira for the BMF belt. Next. Does that make sense? Of course it does. Do you think that Paddy Pimblett's going to be scared, intimidated, or terrified of the submission threat from Charles Oliveira? Well, he should be. He should take it seriously because the man has the most submissions in UFC history, the most bonuses, the most finishes, the most a lot of things, okay? And just because you got good jiu-jitsu doesn't mean that you can stave that off and defend.
Tom Aspinall praised Paddy Pimblett's showing, especially the confidence he continues to bring into each fight. Dana White also acknowledged the significance of the victory, recognizing that performances like this can play a major role in building the UFC's next generation of stars. Even some of Paddy's former critics admitted he appeared noticeably improved, with sharper striking, stronger defense, and better decision-making throughout the fight. For many fans, this was the performance that finally made a UFC title run feel realistic.
Please, it's because somebody like Paddy inspired him. There was nothing short of that. His walkout, he looked like he was having fun. He gets in the ring, he called this move, by the way, and when you lock that in dry, Paddy the Baddy used to be like a regional fighter that said some funny things with a weird hairdo. That's not who he is. This is one of the best fighters in the world. The only reason he was a co-main event tonight is because McGregor made the walk. Paddy the Baddy is a bona fide star.
Back then I fought Jared Gordon, I was still an immature kid. I might have been 26, but I was still an immature child, where now I've got kids of my own and I've got a lot smarter head on my shoulders.
I think Paddy Pimblett is a future champion. I truly mean that. He's very good everywhere. He's good at creating the chaos. And I think for him, once he gets into chaos, he's able to find submissions. And each submission that he really, gets is very, very, good basics, good fundamentals, meaning that BSD comes across the board, they start exchanging, he shoots a takedown, he gives up his neck, he takes the neck, and he stays with a choke. He attacks the guillotine, BSD rolls. When he rolls, he attacks the shoulder. When he attacked it and he rolled through, he locks up.
What makes Paddy Pimblett's rise even more interesting is what could come next. The lightweight division remains packed with elite names, including Justin Gaethje, Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, and Islam Makhachev. A title fight may not be immediately on the table, but after UFC 329, it is becoming much harder to leave Paddy out of serious lightweight discussions. Joe Rogan has also pointed out how one major performance can completely reshape public opinion. Paddy is now enjoying that shift, but greater recognition comes with greater pressure. Future opponents will study him more carefully. His performances will face heavier scrutiny, and every mistake will receive more attention as his profile continues to grow.
Sick performance. Submitted Benoit Denis in the first exchange. Insane Darce choke. Spider monkey wrapped all around his body. Put Benoit Denis to sleep. The energy that Paddy brought, honestly, is something that makes the UFC insanely happy, makes the fans, they love that kid, guys. People are going crazy in here as Paddy Pimblett walked out and as Paddy Pimblett left the octagon. He's a stud, and he deserves a big fight.
People are sick of me saying that Joe Silva tried to sign him when he was 21 and he could have come to the UFC at 23, but he wanted to come as the proper athlete. But relative to who I know him to be, the martial artist, the hard worker, the public perception has been way off, right? People love the persona, rightfully so. He's a master orator without any notes, but people lean into him eating donuts after the fight and they don't realize what a...
If UFC 329 demonstrated anything, it is that Paddy Pimblett appears prepared for the pressure that comes with rising toward the top. Rather than being overwhelmed by the spotlight, he embraced it and delivered a performance that demanded attention. While much of the MMA world continues discussing Conor McGregor's future, Paddy accomplished something equally valuable. He made fans and fighters across the sport start paying serious attention to what comes next for him.